10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello everyone, hope you are all doing great and safe at your end. Welcome to day 5 of pre-hackathon speaker sessions. Hack this fall is hosting live workshops, talks and discussions which have already started from 26th October and will end today. You can check out our website for further schedules. Now coming on to our speaker session. Most people will agree that we always begin the hack with lots of enthusiasm, right planning, correct idea, and directed thoughts. But at last, we find miles away from leaderboard or may have to be satisfied with doing a digit binary position. What's that one spice that we miss? There's a saying by our speaker for the day. Hackathons are not only about inculcating huge tech or complex problem statements. These are more of horizontal development. End product served with a cool USP, catering huge market necessity. Confused? Nevertheless, in this session, you'll come to know exactly what people are looking at your hack and how to stand top to their expectations. And with that being said, let me introduce you to our speaker for the session. We have Harshit Singh today joining us.
Thank you, David. Thank you for such an awesome introduction, and it's pretty great. And thank you for this opportunity. So yeah, and thanks a lot. Like I totally look forward for this amazing session with you guys.
Harshit is an avid software developer at Amazon India who loves connecting with tech communities and mentoring with the right mindset to take the less traveled path. He has mentored and judged 20 plus hackathons and has also been associated with student committees like Code Asylum, GDG Ranchi, and is also co-founder for AWS user group Ranchi. Having a deep interest in big data ecosystem deployed in the containers world, he can help you to think of ways to make your hack a scalable startup idea. You can also ping him for brainstorming your leisure tech thoughts if you feel serious about them. We welcome you, Harshit, and look forward to your talk. The virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you, David. Thanks once again for this again awesome introduction. So yeah,
We are
guys.
happy to have you actually.
Oh, the pleasure was mine. Oh, no. Okay, guys. I think I think we can start further with the session. So, one thing which I want to mention in the beginning is like do's and don'ts of hackathon. First of all, why? First question comes: why we do need to know the do's and don'ts? Like why one should keep in mind what are the practicalities that one have to think about it. So I'll just give an example. It may happen every time that if you go in a hackathon, you make products, you make awesome hacks, but you feel that something is missing, something is not able to convince the people around what exactly the people are looking for in your hack. So these all questions will be covered in this whole session, and the basic agenda lies behind this. Like we'll first go through the initial position of the starting the hackathon, then how you make your hack, and finally the presentation purpose. What are the do's and what are the avoidable circumstances that you should do while propagating into all these three buckets, and finally a bonus tip for all of you guys. So let's start the session. So before starting, like let me introduce myself. Like who am I? Exactly what I do, and why should you listen me first? So I'm a just passionate software developer working for a big firm, Amazon India, and who likes to solve real life problems and networking at scale. I'm also a co-founder of AWS Ranchi and the team lead at GDG Ranchi. I have been associated with and a community manager at Code Asylums, the open source community, and also apart from this, I have been in the judge panel. I've shared the jury panel with almost renowned hackathons like NASA Space Challenge App, Delhi Hacks, and Enough Data Hackathons, etc. I've been through mentored around 20 plus hackathons, and which has given me the exposure, and which has made me feel that some of the small obstacles that people feel while solving their issues, while preparing their hackathons, and where they lack. Apart from this, I also won the Walmart Hack Challenge, in the Hackathon North, and also the Ethereum had challenge, which was in the Hackabit measure. Also, I have deep interest for the big data ecosystem, containers, web development, app development. I have less interest, but yeah, definitely we can say. And a huge I've been into a system design for a while and been reading about a design pattern. So yeah, I think if you want to visualize your hack to a more startup idea, definitely you can ping me for a cool brainstorm session. And it's never too long, it's never too, what do you say, it's never too wrong to ping me. I'll love to help you out. So moving on with the session. So whenever the hackathons kicks in, just tomorrow your hack the fall will kickstart. So make sure you follow these do's and don'ts. These are crucial. These are very important points that one should remember. So before starting any problem statement, make sure you research well. You research well on the problems, whatever you are trying to tackle, whatever ways are there that are being exist in the market that is being trying to tackle, and make sure you don't reinvent the wheel. Make sure to have your whole milestone categorized in the three basics part. These are the three different buckets where you need to have to categorize it. These are basically ideal, realistic, and must win. What is an ideal bucket? Ideal means that these things can be achieved. These are all ideal concepts, and this will be achieved in the long run. The must win is the bottom line that you have to achieve in order to be on the successful run. And the realistic is the reality that you are trying to, whether you are green, whether you are red on your thought, or whether you are green on your thought. So try to always have a continuous feedback loop in the ideal, realistic, and must win, that whether you are on the path or not. Make sure to distribute your work differently according to expertise. For example, make sure to one person handles the front end, one handles the back end, and the one person integration handles the integration separately. Don't never start doing everything in for parallel. Make sure the front end guy has their own time, back end guy has their own time to think about it, because last moment you can't think about it of changing the whole flow. Most of the time people tends to make it time bounded. They think that while won't we achieve everything in a small time, but it never works. So always, like, don't ever try to make it a tight time bounded plans without any buffers. Always have some buffers, because you never know whenever your bugs can creep in. Always try to solve what has already been solved. Like, don't always only solve, try to innovate more. For example, if you think that your idea has already been implemented, if you feel that this idea is already being some in the market, don't try to pitch in the same one, because being in the judges, people know about it, people will come to know. Try to make something more crucial, or like more important over that stuff. What innovative innovations you have done in your idea, what things you have made it, that matters. Focus more on technical frameworks and then business problem. This is the common mistake that people do. People tend to make more tech, more like what the complex tech frameworks include, and they try to show off this tech in the hackathons, which is good at one time, but never forget the business problems. Because in a hackathons, we are there to judge your unique idea that you're there to pitch in, the problem way you have solved the idea, and then and the less focus are there on the tech purpose. I'll not say the completely less. Make sure to have a proper tech, because technical judges are there too. Also, what people have one like basic concept that people goes wrong is that without planning the time, and they always try to follow the holistic approach. What you can do is, let's say you have a hackathon for 24 hours, divide into three phases: 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure to decide the plan beforehand. What is the phase 1 result, and what are your expectation out of it? What is the phase 2, what is phase 3, and what is phase 4? Make sure to have a proper sleep. Don't proceed without time planning. This is a very mistake. And always have buffers. So these are the simple key points that you have to keep in mind from the Kickstart plan. Moving on to the second thought, the second bucket, the be production ready. Now, when we say be production ready, what we exactly mean? We mean that your hack is so much complete that next moment it can be launched for the whole world. It can launch for the people around to use it and feel how and to receive the feedback of it. So what are the do's and don'ts for it? Make sure you have a responsive website or app, or a whole completely the responsiveness should be there, because you never know what type of screen the people is having. Like people are having on their phones, people are having on their laptops or anything. So make sure you have your hack in a responsive manner. This puts a very good impression on the judges too, because they feel that yeah, you are a production ready hack. Also try to have a common theme of your whole storyline which you're presenting it. What happens there is when you're making your hack, uh, make sure it tells your story, tells a very unique story through headers, through common logos, to the navigations and the buttons that you have. The flow should be so much smoothing that there should be a minimalistic clicking that it's there, and the maximum output throughput should be there. So with the minimum clicks and the maximum throughput, if you're able to achieve this flow, I think you are on the right track. Also, make sure to have a separate flow for client and admin if it's applicable. Never try to show the same client and admin on the same hack. It makes the audience confused. It makes you also somewhere the DB may get cut cross, or sometime it you have if you it may happen the unforeseen issues. So always try to keep the separate flows. In making a hackathon, don't start implementing a login system, because a standard login system is something which we understand, which jury members understand that okay, it is will be implemented, it's not a big deal. So don't waste so much time in implementing the login system. Don't waste so much time on implementing a OTP service, because these are all system which can be implemented after, and like without spending less efforts, and it can be implemented afterwards also. It's not an issue, because we are not here to judge your OTP functioning or login functioning. Also try to don't implementing the cache system from scratch. If it's requirement, you can use the already existing the system, already existing third parties endpoints on everything. So try to focus more on the business plan rather than focusing on the third party innovations. Also avoid using implementing the forgot password like stuff, because people have seen somewhere that people it's good you have it, but don't start wasting time. These things can be implemented once you are ready with your hackathon, once you are ready with your whole end-to-end product. Then you can implement this can be served as a plus point to it. But do this only when you're ready with your hackathon, and not just start devoting much time to this. So once your hack is ready, now comes the third and foremost bucket, most important bucket, that is called presentation, the final presentation. Now this is the what you say, the judging point, where people have with, or where people feel that is it your hack that much worthy, is it the hack that important, your hack have created that much impact. So how would you create, how would you help to visualize people as well what you have visualized yourself? So first important point is present a PPT or demonstrate to a video, as this gives a track of time. Never overshoots your presentation. Always keep it simple, short, and crisp to the point. Because if you can explain your idea, if you can explain your approach in a very consolidated way, it will strike the jury member more. It will strike the jury people to the extent that which they will come to the know about the idea which you are thinking of, how perspective what you have. Also start with a cool hack name. Don't just present a hack with saying that this team is presenting this. Have a very cool hack name which so that people can retain after that you have presented is over. Because the things which get retained, the things will be cherished forever. That's the basic saying goes. So now always start with a problem that is solving. Now while presenting it, first of all follow this approach. Start with the problem, then tell your approach. Also if applicable, tell how it's different from others. Like already it exists in the market, if something exists in the market, the ideas or something approach, and how your approach is different from the others. This is also known as USP, a unique selling point, which is very crucial for the people to know exactly what you're solving. And always end with the future aspects. Future aspect shows that yes, you have thought of you have a long vision and you have a visionary thoughts, which demonstrate that your hacks have a potential to grow vast in the future. Always have a realistic approach and have some numbers supporting with the visualization figures. Don't start just saying that this when this is launched it will create a huge impact. We always want to see the how much impact out of 100 people, how much it will impact. Have a realistic approach. Never present any random numbers. Have some data, have some research, have some a simple what do you say, a survey type of, and present some more crisp data, as this all creates a difference. In the presentation, don't start showing the codes and the editor screens, the famous known as ID screens, because not everyone is familiar with that much technical knowledge. Not everyone is there to see to debug your code or see your code or understand your code. Yes, you can show them the working with simply the simple commands, but don't show the codes, how exactly you have implemented database, how exactly you have implemented the models or everything. So that's the thing to be avoided. Don't start exaggerating the hack with too much technicalities, as people are there to judge your business problem and your thought process. Most of the time people lose focus on the problem that initially started with. Never do that. And always remember, don't present the already existing solution in a different way. As a jury members, people do come to know that what the thing that you're presenting it is already exists in the market, and try to avoid it. It helps you a lot. It helps you to getting disqualified, and it helps you to, it does not create a false impression behind the, like before the judges. So these are some of the crucial steps in the three buckets. Moving on to this, the extra crucial points. All, if possible, have some screen readers or multilingual approaches, which are very useful for specially abled accessibilities. This helps to show the jury panel that yes, you are thinking for a community, you are thinking for the society, you are thinking for a large world, and this is the point where it fetches you some extra points. Make sure that most of the people you are catering to the market, which also has specially abled peoples, make sure you cater them too. Make sure to have a minimalistic UI. The 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 whole UI should be clean, should be crisp, clear, and with have a very less type of the whole animations and everything. It should be so much clear that with one click, with one headers, with one description, the people should know what exactly you're trying to present. Some extra text which you can include, but these or reports, printables, the dark mode option, or something fork me on GitHub type of stuff, you can implement that, and which are all the timers, the countdown, the carousels, anything you can implement. But make sure you have this once you are done with your hack. Never try to do this on when you're in the hackathon, and try to start innovating out of the box. Hosting is a very crucial bucket. This fetches you, guarantees fetches you an extra bucks. I'm telling this fact, mark my words. Make sure you host your hack. Make sure, also, if you don't know how to host this completely, make sure you have to host something, at least the front end part. You have to host it. If you are not able to host the complete end to end the databases, never worries. Tell the judge that you have hosted the front end only, and that will gonna fetch you extra marks. So hosting marks your hack as complete and fully function, and this points at okay, now you are production ready. So these are some of the extra gains that I have for you. So now moving on, the summarizing the whole PPT that I have presented to you, the summarizing in a very crisp way, in a very short way, what I have been through everything is, make sure you may make the people visualize your idea. This is very crucial from the perspective, because as a jury member, if I don't know, if I'm not able to get your perspective of exactly what you're thinking, of exactly what you are on to solve it, I'll not be able to judge you completely. Research well on a domain. It's very crucial that you research well. Why? Because sometime it may happen the something that which you have made is already being existed. So this is just that you are just reinventing the wheel, which is not a uh, very good thing to do in a hackathon. Also, try to present your hack with numbers and artifacts. This creates a more impact. For example, if you can say that okay, when I have made my hack completely, and upon doing a survey on the number of on the participants here present in the hackathon, I found that they liked it. They have this much feedback, and they have found this much people found it useful. So in the hackathon only you can ask people for the feedback itself. You can connect with them, ask them their feedback. It will create a very new impact. Like, okay, this guy has gone above and beyond and ask the feedback for the people as well, and they are liking it. So this creates a very positive vibe among the jury. The last and the foremost and the very crucial point is, you have to have USP of your hack. Make sure you declare the USP in your presentation very clearly. Apart, like, if you don't have this USP, the people won't be able to judge you completely, and this can make you to suffer heavy loss. So these are the four major do's which you can get it from the after my presentation. Like, these are the four do's that I wanted to speak about. Now coming out to don'ts. So don't in a hackathon, people used to just do some mistakes that people do tend to do is, remember, this is a hackathon and not an ideathon. They tend to present some of the ideas, they tend to present the visions that they have, and not the product that they have made. Sometimes this, I'll not say sometimes, this will not gonna help. Definitely make sure you have something built, because if you don't present something or anything that you have made, it will just be marked as you have just uh, beating around the bush, nothing else. So make sure you have something made. And coming to this, people generally make a mistake that they start with a big at the beginning. Don't go big. Think of a big vision. That is okay. That is great. Thinking of big. But don't start big. Don't start everything going parallel. This will not gonna help. Make sure you have your distributed work. Don't don't start making everything from scratch by yourself. Try to distribute it, and try to hit small target, which eventually will gonna hit your big target at one point. So always start with going on distributing the work and then reaching the target. Never start doing just by thinking that you can achieve it, and never underestimate or overestimate the timing. It's very crucial that you divide your whole plan in the three buckets which I've said: ideal plan, realistic plan, and the foremost, the plan that which you are going to achieve the bottom line. Because unless you know your bottom lines, you can't be able to make it up. The third point is very crucial, is focus on template effects. Focusing on template effect generally loses your time and also loses your X points which you have gained. Why? Because as a jury panel, they are not here to judge what your template, how good your template is, how amazing, what if you have 3D animations, you have a colossals coming in, you have a pop-ups coming behind. It's okay to have it, but if you start focusing more on template effects and start wasting your time rather than making your own hack, this is a wrong thing to do, my friend. This is a wrong thing. Try to have the focus on your hack rather than focusing on templates. Focusing on template is good, it's great, but make sure you don't lose the track it. You don't lose everything in focusing on templates. The last and the very crucial is, never grow horizontally but be vertical in hacks. I think this is very this will create some confusions. Like, this is like, okay, what is this going horizontally and vertically in hacks? Okay, I'll just explain you. Yeah. So horizontally means, for example, I'll just give an example. Let's say you have a web application, and it has a front end, it has a back end, and it has a database. So for example, what happens here is, you start when you create a front end, let's say it'll be HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, great, you have completed the front end. Now you're focusing on the back end and the database. So this is a, what do you say, this is a horizontal line, right? Like, sorry, this is not a horizontal, this is a vertical line. The front end, the back end, and the database, this is a vertical line. So always try to stick to this vertical. Why? Because once you have done with your front end, people tend to innovate more, and they start thinking, why I can't make it in React also? Why can't I make it in Angular also? Why can't I make it in Vue also? It's great, you can make it. I know you can make it, but pertaining to 36 hours, you have to have fixed your final stretch. in in the beginning. Never try to deviate that. In the beginning, only fix it. That if you want to go with React, you want to go with JavaScript. Sorry, if you go with Angular, if you go with Vue, or anything. Same goes with the backend as well. Once you have made your backend in the Node.js, don't start trying to make it in the same thing in the Flask or Django because it has some benefits out of this node, or some other frameworks have benefit out of the others or something. Discuss these points in the early. Start early, discuss all these points, and be fixed with one plan, because it may happen you have to have changed some of the plans in the while in the hackathon. That is okay, but don't start changing the whole track. It will gonna create difference, and it will gonna create huge difference. So remember these things. Never grow horizontally in the hackathon, but be vertical in your hacks, because this will gonna help you end to end, and this can make you to win hackathon as well. So these are some of the don'ts, which is the crisp point of my whole presentation. Now, moving forward with a common saying, it's a very common saying which John Jimmer, like he's the co-founder and the president of Lyft. Just to give you a brief background of Lyft, Lyft is just like what you can just compare Lyft with Rapido for the US people. So Lyft came out of a hackathon project when we were trying to figure out how Zimride looks on mobile. So here John Zimmer was trying to tell, like, they have their hackathon, and they have just tried to innovate what were pre-existing. They ha- they are solving the same problem which is already being solved by Zimride, but they are going beyond and try to innovate more. And that's the moment they have come up with a new product that is called Lyft. So you may never know that when your innovation on the pre-existing solution, or your innovation in a hackathon, can go on become such great startups. I repeat, like, never underestimate your idea, underestimate your work. Start small, distribute your work, and plan it out to hit the big target. That's the crisp point lies within. Moving forward, this now I'll just open the session to anyone, like, for the queries and the questions that if anyone has. And like, I'm totally open to it, so if anyone has some queries, just shoot me in. And also you can directly hop into my LinkedIn, Twitter, and GitHub, which I've presented over here. The tags Helios1101, which remains common. You can directly get in me touch and have it. Like, you can ask me the whatever ideas, and I'm open to the brainstorming purpose as well. So I guess, yeah, that's pretty much from my side. Nivesh,
Harsh-
any questions?
Harsh- Harshit, thanks for this amazing session. And now let's see if we have any questions.
Yeah,
So, one of the question which hackers ask is, how can I get ideas for a hackathon? What is your take on this?
great. So how you can get ideas for a hackathon is some question is like being asked with everyone. Any hacker which starts early, they always ask me that how can I get idea. So every question has one simple answer that I give everyone. That see your basic routine. For example, see what you're lagging behind. What is your necessity? Necessity is the mother of all invention. For example, I'll just give a very small example. You are going to buy the vegetables. This is very rough example that I'm giving you, but it's okay. It works every time. So you go to buy vegetables from the near shop. Every time you go and buy it. Every time you go and buy it. So this is a common problem. Now, what happens if someone can buy you, and you see it like three, four people going to the same shop, buying the same stuff, and coming back to the same locality? Why not we create something which people can with one people can go buy for all of them and come back and distribute it. Okay, he will charge something extra. That works. So what is this? This is not an idea. This is a problem that we're solving. An idea is a problem that is faced by common people, and based on this idea only, we all have seen Dunzo coming up. Dunzo, very great startup, which is big on this purpose only. Just the one people going in, fetching the same stuff which we wanted, and coming back. So what is an idea? Idea nothing is, but it's just a problem that you are and I am facing in this real world. Just think of a problem that you're facing it. Never think that this problem is small or this problem is big. Any problem is not a small or big. If you're able to solve it up, if you have an idea, I will definitely recommend to go and give a shot in the hackathon, because hackathon is the place where ideas comes to life. So my answer would be like, think of your own lifestyle, talk to your different people, ask them what they are facing in life, how they are lagging in the life, what they want to change. You never know what they want to change, you can bring in the change. So that's the whole point is.
Harshit, I completely agree with your answer. So, Harshit, some hackers might not have been able to join the session live, but
Okay,
as the recording is going to be available for all others, if they have any questions, they'll ask you on the Discord channel. That is
sure,
hashtag Ask Speakers. So please do have a look whenever you are free.
sure, sure,
So
sure. Works.
thanks a lot, Harshit. It was indeed a great session and had a lot to gain.
Thank you, Navesh. I'd like to thank you, Navesh and Siddharth, like for this amazing session, organizing this amazing sessions, and offer this amazing hack the fall in this pandemic. I'm like really looking forward for some amazing hacks, like for questions for this. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.
And there's one question from my side that
Okay.
there
Yep.
will be there will be a variety of hackers participating
Okay.
at Hack This Fall. So
Mhm.
would you like to give them some tips or suggestions?
Okay, great. So I would one I'll not say advice. I'll say I'll just try to share my experience. One experience. It may sometimes happen that the tech that you are implementing, uh, or the technologies or the things that you're talking about, may not get into the people at once, because it happened with me also when we were trying to build this whole type of new cloud system. It happened initially that judges don't get the crisp of it, if the people don't get the crisp at what we are trying to solve it. But don't get demotivated in that. Let's not get demotivated by the simple stuff, because uh, you may feel that I'm not able to present in the right way, or something I'm lacking. It's not that you're lacking something, it's just that the need of the hour. You're not able to, the some same mistake you have done in the presentation purpose, something you have done, but a tech wise you're ready. So I would suggest you to follow the idea. Never just drop your idea by just facing any failures in one hackathon or the other. Try to innovate more, build upon it. Don't I'm not telling that go with the same idea next hackathon. Go next hackathon with the same idea, but build something more. Build a more innovative idea. Discuss it with your friend, but never give your idea, because your idea is your own and no one can snatch it from you. So I would highly recommend to think of an idea, build upon it, stick to it, no matter whatever happens. So it may happen that you may not face success in one hackathon. Never worry. Hackathons are being lined up the whole year, the whole like life is there for the hackathon. So just keep on building, because one good idea can bring a huge customer impact to the whole world. So that's my advice to everyone.
So I agree with you, Harshit, and this was a very valuable suggestion for our hackers. And thank you once again for joining us today.
Thank you, Navid. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So this is for all the attendees that do fill the feedback form shared in the chat section, and it will only be available for 15 minutes, and this will be used to assign you certificates. And after 15 minutes, the link won't be you won't be able to open the link. Thanks a lot, everyone who joined us today. Don't forget to subscribe the channel so that you can get the updates for all workshops coming up ahead. Stay tuned. Hope to see you in the next session. Stay safe. Take care.